Alrighty, thank you guys for taking the time to uh, tune into this help video for our pictographs. If you notice, this worksheet is called Cookie Sales Pictograph. And for this, the past couple days, have spent time organizing data. You guys looked at your favorite places to read or your favorite places to play, and then we put them into different categories. So some of you guys organize your favorite places to read based on whether or not they were outside or inside. Same thing for places to play. You guys also made some other really good categories. So in this case, they actually give you data right away. Let's read the directions before we get started. It says 4 Girl Scouts sold cookies for 1 month. The list below shows how many boxes were sold by each Girl Scout. So then you can see here's the 4 Girl Scouts. There's Isabella, Emma, Sam, Grace, and then you can also see next to the name how many boxes of Girl Scout cookies they sold. And it wants us to use the information from the list. When they say the list, they're talking about up here. But actually, we know the fancy word for information is data. So using the data from the list, we want to complete the pictograph below and answer the questions. When you see the word pictograph, if you remember from 2nd grade, you see P-I-C-T, the sound picked. And it sounds just like the word picture. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing is you'll be kind of drawing pictures in here. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me real fast save this picture so I can kind of draw over it in a way that'll actually, you know what, hold on. Okay, so looking over at our pictograph here, we have each person's name from up above, and it says cookie sales. So by looking at that, I can tell the cookie sales are all going to go in these long boxes here. And before I go and just say, okay, Isabella's got 40 boxes of cookies, I'm going to make 40 tally marks, 40 circles, we need to look at this pictograph a little bit closer. And what you might see here is that we've got a key, and the key says each cookie equals 5 boxes. So for every time you draw a cookie next to someone's name, it stands for 5 boxes that were sold, because you see cookie sales is up here. So it stands for 5 boxes that were sold. So really with Isabella, she sold 40 boxes. What I need to do is, let's see. What I need to do here is if Isabella sold 40 boxes, let me write her name real fast so we remember who we're working with. She sold 40 boxes. So I would draw however many circles I needed, and I know each circle equals 5. So that would be 5 boxes. I need to get up to 40 because she sold 40 boxes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I didn't really need to put these little dots here. That's the way they showed in the picture back here on the pictograph. You don't really need the dots. Circles would be more than enough here, and it would still show the same thing. So altogether, going back to my other screen here, Isabella, let's make sure she sold 40 cookies with our drawing. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So yep, I've got all 40 boxes that I need because that's what it's set up here. So then you would do the same thing for Emma. She sold 15, so you'd count by 5s up to 15. Fill in however many circles you need for Emma. Sam did 30. He sold 35. Or sorry, she sold 35 boxes. So you would do 30, however many circles you needed to equal 35. Remembering that each circle counts as 5 boxes. And Grace had 50. So go ahead and take a little bit of time, fill that out. At this point, you might want to pause the video, and once you get this all filled out, then click play on the video again and keep listening. Okay, so number 1, at this point, you've filled out your pictograph. Number 1 says, how many boxes of cookies did the girls sell in all? Well, if we're trying to find in all, how many boxes they sold in all, you would add up all their amounts. In this case, 40 plus 15 plus 35 plus 50. And let's see if we can do this in kind of an easy way here. So let me write these numbers on my other paper. So we've got 40. Oh, I'm making arrows all over the place. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So we've got Isabella sold 40 boxes. Sam sold 35. Emma sold 15. And Grace sold 50. So for this one, if you take your time, the one big thing we talked about is when you're adding numbers together, if you look closely at the numbers you're adding, a lot of times you can find easier numbers to add instead of just going right into the problem and adding everything in order. One thing I did notice here when I was looking at my numbers and taking the time to think about each of them, what I did notice was that 35 plus 15, 3 tens and 1 10 is 40, 4 tens. And then 5 plus 5 is 10, so that's going to be 50. And this makes this problem very easy to solve because now you've got 50 plus 50, which is 100, plus 40 more. Well, 100 plus 40 equals 140. So that gives us a quick and easy answer to problem number 1 there, 140 boxes in all. For the next few, I want you guys to try to solve through these on your own. If you have any questions, send me an email and I'll be happy to respond. I hope this helped you understand how to set up your Pictograph. At this point, I think the rest of the math on here you guys have really done a good job with, and I know you understand. So take your time to work through it. One thing I just did want to point out is on number 3, it says, which 2 girls sold a total of 75 boxes of cookies? Just make sure you'll be kind of checking through here a little bit and seeing adding 2 girls up and 2 girls cookie sales up, and hopefully they will equal 75. You might have to check a couple different combinations to see if you can get 75. But what I would do is before you even do that, you have all your data up here. And so it's kind of easy to look at the numbers and figure out which one equals 75. If you do adding by place, just by looking at these, you don't even really have to set up all your different lines of solving for this one, since you guys have gotten really quick at adding by place. So thanks again for listening in, and I hope everyone has a good evening.